Welcome back. This is probably it's my third video. I wanted to do something different. Instead of my current pieces, I wanted to discuss some of my older pieces. So I'm going to share with you some of my first top pieces, that ended up really well. I've made a lot of pieces that are just like, whatever. I'm going to share with you. Well, most of them are either for band or orchestra. I'm going to share with you some of them. So the first one down this list, probably the only one I'm going to discuss because it's going to take a while, is called Melloblue Sky. And this one is about two things. The first one is about nature and how it's the supreme law of the universe. It'll all make sense later. Right now, it probably makes no sense. And it's also about a dream that I had twice. I had this dream when I was maybe 7, I think. I think that was how old I was. So I had this one dream where I was on a smaller planet, so you could see the curvature of the sky. So I was there, and I remember the sky was darker blue than normally it would be, but it wasn't scary. It looked really nice, and I liked how it looked. And that's the main inspiration for this piece. And the sun, it looked like a moon. It was kind of like my vision wasn't exactly letting me see the sun, if that makes sense. Or like whenever I would look at it, it would warp a little, but hey, that's just how my dreams are like. They warp things a lot. But aside from that, I do know that the sides of my vision, or the corners, or my peripherals, were darker blue than the sky was. It was kind of a nice looking blue, though. It was like if I could make the color. Let me see if I can make it. It had to be something like maybe this, around that, or like, let me see if I can make the color. Maybe this, yeah, maybe that. And yeah, this piece is comprised of 8 movements, and they each have a specific meaning. The first one is the introduction, and I swear all my life that I heard the introduction while I was looking at the sky and parts of the second movement. So, the reason why I made this piece is because when I was maybe 14, I think, I had the same dream again. And how do I know it was the same one? On my old computer, I had a text document that had all the details on it because I liked that dream so much. Writing down dreams, I don't know, I like doing that. It's kind of a coping mechanism, if that makes sense. A little coping thing. But yeah, basically, it was just like I had the same, well, most of it was the same. This time I remember hearing music. The first time I didn't hear music when I was 7, and then the second time I did. And that dream was just great though. I really liked it. There was a tree in a field of grass on a small planet. So, I will start playing music. So, the introduction, I use suspended second chords because, oh, my brother's asleep. Yeah. I used a lot of suspended 2 chords because I'm not going to say sus2 because I hate saying that now. But I use suspended second chords all the time. It's like, it's kind of, it's like it creates tension, but not like bad tension, more like happy tension, where you're wondering what's gonna be the next chord. Like, hold on, what did he just did that? What's the next? Oh, nice. That's what the chord is. And how do I know this effect works? Because it works on me. It probably doesn't work on other people, but I do know it works on me. So here's the introduction. Oh shoot, it's not playing. Hold on. Oh, there we go. And we made it to the second movement, which is called View Upon the Melloblue Sky. So this one is like where you're beginning to fall asleep and you just see it. This part is supposed to be quieter, but I really liked it to sound loud. It's like it's forte, but in my dream it was quieter, like it was off to the side. I use this. I don't know if you can do this without div, but I don't know. I like that sound a lot. I was like, you know what? Yeah. And so this one, the second movement, is based off of another song I wrote on the piano when I was like 10 called A Chronica. It was supposed to be like, yeah. And this is kind of an inspiration for segment 18's, which is summer. It's inspiration for the intro. I'll play it for you, and then I'll play Melloblue so you can see the comparison. Yeah, that. And so here is View Upon the Melloblue Sky. So yeah, you can kind of tell. Oh, Summer kind of played an inspirational role, but that melody was also based off of Canyon from that. I don't remember. It was on one of my old. Well, no, not mine. It was on one of my friend's old computers from like I think it was like Windows XP or something. And it's also, if you go into your own computer, I forgot what folder it is, but it's called canyon.mid. It's pretty nice. I like the old Microsoft slash Windows MIDI files. They're real cool. But yeah, basically, this bass line, it's fun. Sometimes I like to make bass lines the melody while at the same time being the bass line, because if you listen to the trumpets, they don't have the melody. The bass, because of that, nothing else has the melody because everything else does the same thing. So it's the bass lines that have it. And I like that. It's fun. And so this is kind of just a little doodle, I guess, because I do that sometimes. So, to sum that, this thing, this whole thing right here, it's basically just a transition into the third movement, which is called clouds. And so, clouds is sorrowful because the Melloblue Sky, it's the sky and it's nice to look at. So, clouds are starting to cover it away because clouds do that sometimes. They just kind of be like that. So that's why it sounds sad. In the original, which was a piano composition, there was an accelerando, uh, probably like around here. But other than that, yeah, it's pretty nice, I guess I'd say. It was also it was random. This wasn't in the original, so I was like, you know what? Yeah. So I put in the piano version, and it sounded really nice with an accelerando too. So, yep, that was pretty sad. It got progressively louder as the clouds covered it even more. And then I did a key change from literally G to A flat. It wasn't that much of a big key change, but whatever, whatever. But originally I planned on changing it from G to E flat, but I didn't realize I literally just changed it to A flat. But yeah, and then you hear the timpani roll. It's like really loud. That was on purpose. So it's this from 84 to here is the transition to the Melloblue return, which basically just means that the clouds are no longer covering the sky. So that's nice. So it's basically just the same thing as movement 2, but in A flat. And now is movement 5, which is Hawkizia. So, Hawkizia is basically, to sum it up, it's an imaginary land I created in this universe that I made when I was 7, I'm pretty sure. And it's basically just, it's like, imagine the place we live in now, but much more technologically advanced and peaceful. It's like a utopia. And when I'm stressed, that's where I daydream about, because I daydream a lot. I can daydream in the back of my head while I do things, but it has to be like simple tasks, like I'm just scrolling my phone. I'll just be daydreaming about Archizia in the background, not even realizing what's happening around me. I just go to my own little world all the time. But I hope you're doing well as well, cause like it ain't fun. It's not fun to be having problems or experiencing troubles. It's not great. So I hope you're doing well as well. But again, this is movement 5, which is Hawkizia. It's about, you know, the coolest place ever. Well, that sounds fun. That was fun. But the funny thing I did with this particular movement, if you listen to the percussion, specifically the snare and the specifically the snare and bass, this is what it sounds like. It's basic, right? But then right here, I do that I don't know what it's called, but I put accents on the second, the two last parts of the 16ths, and then the third note, and then the two last and the third, over and over. And so it sounds like this. Hold on. Oh shoot, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. And what I did with that, if you listen, first I'll let you listen to it, and then I'm going to play the parts that are supposed to mimic that. Oh shoot, I muted the bass still. I'm sorry. Okay, now I'm going to solo the parts that were supposed to be mimicking the percussion part. It's more audible with the flutes though, like. And another thing I did with this whole thing is I basically just use most of the not orchestra, the band, my bad, to create a percussion instrument that isn't a percussion instrument. Like if you listen to just these parts, those aren't the parts that they would normally play. It's more percussive and based around rhythm, rhythm based, unlike what they're supposed to be. Because usually they'd be more, melody based or harmony or something. But I was like, you know what? How about no? How about let's not do that? So this is what all the percussive parts together sounds like. I'm gonna add the tenor sax part in there because it's kind of nice. Pretty nice, isn't it? Yeah, it's pretty nice, I'd say. And the 5/4 section wasn't random. Well, I mean, it was originally, but when I, made it different, because at first it was a piano piece, right? So I added these parts, and it sounds like. I just like 5/4. That there's really no other reason that I picked 5/4. I just really like it. It's pretty cool. Then we have a nice transition. What do you think this transition goes into? Is it gonna be something happy or something sad? Think about it. So that was pretty nice, huh? It was pretty nice. It transitions into something sad. This part is called Rain Song. And Rain Song, it says play like rain, which probably makes no sense, but it also does make sense. So for me, I use the term rain song as something that has the rhythm like this. I'll just play euphonium and tuba. This is like the rain song rhythm because I've made other ones. And those two notes over and over as well. So rain song. So basically, I'm not really sure if I've been helping you follow the story, but for Alkizia, it's this whole thing is a story. You see Melloblue Sky again, but then you see Civilization, which is Alkizia, and you're just like, whoa, that's so cool, and you just get all like absorbed. Hold on, let me slur these because they're supposed to be slurred. You get absorbed in Hawkizia because it's so great, and then you forget about Melloblue Sky, and by the time you want to see it again, the clouds covered it up again, and rain is here. Moral of the story: technology isn't everything, and nature's really cool. Don't miss out on it because you're gonna miss out on it if you just you're gonna miss out on it if you don't go looking for it. And so rain song amplifies that. And so once it gets louder, because it does eventually, I will explain that because I really want to. It's pretty cool. I also use claves. I use these for the, I don't know if I could say cartoony, but sort of cartoonish sound of rain falling, if that makes sense, or like rain droplets coming off of something. It sounds like this. And this is where it gets loud. And so I did two things. Well, no, I did four things. The clave now plays every beat of the four measures. And here's the flute part. Actually, listen to this. It's kind of cool. Basically, we have the melody, which is... Hold on, let me mute this. I'm doing this wrong. Yes, I'm doing it wrong. Here. We have the melody, but it's legato. I mean tenuto. It has tenutos on it. And so we also have the bass line as well. It sounds nice up there. And then we also have this. And so when you put them together with bassoon and contra, because those are the bass lines, and then we have the melody. Well, the second melody that's played by saxes and clarinet. So the lower parts, I'll have you listen to it real quick. So, as I mentioned before in Storm, in my video in Storm, there are two kinds of thunder for me. There's the controlled thunder and there's a natural thunder. Controlled thunder means that it syncs with the beat. Natural thunder means it's random and it's out of sync, stuff like that. So this thunder is controlled thunder. Every single time the bass drum plays, which I wish MuseScore had lots of reverb on it, but it doesn't. But I want the most reverb I can get on that. I just want, it's supposed to be thunder. And each time the note shifts with the bass line from here to here, not the slur though, the slur isn't meant to be as loud. It's meant to just be played. So it's supposed to be like, hold on. Actually, I will mute. I will only play tuba and percussion one. So we have controlled thunder in here, purely just controlled thunder. And I'm gonna play the whole thing until the end. There's also very long slurs, because it sounds better with slurs. I'm just saying. Yep, the melody has a couple elements to it as well. You see how it doesn't sound angry? It kind of sounds like it's just mixing with the sadness of, it's raining now and you don't get to see the sky anymore. It could sound happy or sad. It depends on how you see it or how you feel it is. But there's one thing right here is supposed to be anger, because you didn't get to see it anymore. And then back to sadness, and then the final movement, which is Storm Aftermath, which needs some work, but it's all right. Storm Aftermath is basically just sun rays and clouds dispersing, sunset, and the aftermath of the storm. So yeah, a key change from B flat to C, because I like key changes. And then I redo the melody, but softer and with a little glockenspiel thing here. If you listen closely, it's the same from the transition to Ren song, like the whole thing, but in a different key. And now it's time for the very last part. This signifies the ending of the story. I tried to end it in a way that sounds like you don't know whether or not you, being the person in the story, saw the Melloblue Sky again. We don't know. You could have. You might have. We don't know. But hold on, let me slur these because these are supposed to be slurred. All right. So I want to ask you a question. When was the last time? Not saying that you need to go do it, but when was the last time that you like remember looking at nature and thinking, "Wow, I love this," and looking at it not because it's you should be doing it or that you think it's the right thing to do, but because it's like something that you want to do. Not saying I'm not trying to change any habits that you already have. It's just a question. For me, it was yesterday. I like nature because most of my songs are based off of it, and nature is basically just what I'm around, so I love it, and that's why I wrote this piece as well because of the dreams. But take a moment to think about that, about what your answer was. It's not because you were outside, but because you wanted to be. Like you wanted to go find something that has to do with nature. You know? Just think about it. Don't just think, "Oh, he's trying to change, something that I like that I don't want to do." I'm not forcing you. I'm not telling you to do it, but just asking a question. Take it into a little bit of consideration and think about it a little. I know that sounds so passive aggressive, but I'm not trying to make it sound like that. So I'm sorry in advance. All right. Well, this was fun explaining this piece. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed listening to it if you even listened to the whole thing. And yeah, hope you have a good day. I hope things are well. And I'll see ya.